Now, after you've put them on that 8x8 touch, you need to put them on a 33 touch. So this is pretty similar to the 8x8 touch, but this is year around. This is one of the most common form of marketing activities, year-round marketing activities that most mega agents and top producing agents do. You guys, if you're experienced, you probably heard of this before. So this is nothing new. I feel like what you're not doing is probably actually implementing it. So your 33 touch is a systematic marketing and prospecting technique, guys, which ensures year-round contacting with all the prospects, customers, and past customers in your contact database. These are people that you've met. So once you've kind of essentially done that 8x8, you want to go ahead and put them on a 33 touch because that's only 8 weeks. You need to be touching them throughout the year. So these activities are a mixture between prospecting and also marketing as well, but primarily most of it is marketing. All right, so let's dive into some of the different touches. We already touched on with the 8x8 touch. We kind of touched on mailers and e-reports. So you guys kind of have an idea of some of the touches that you can do. But let's talk about the benefits and why you want to implement this. Because some people may say, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do this. But I want to explain why it's helpful to try to implement all of these as much as possible, right? Mailer benefits. It sets you apart from the competition. That's key right there. It also allows you to provide valuable information. It also demonstrates consistency as well. So be sure to send this out on the first of the month. And when we redo the scheduling, guys, because we're going to touch bases on the scheduling after we're done this marketing activities, because I want to actually help you guys kind of put it on your schedule. I have a breakdown on when you should schedule each of these activities each month. Okay. So keep that in mind. E-report benefits. It reinforces the monthly mailing that you're doing. It increases response rate. It's an efficient form of communication. Be sure to send this on the 15th of every month. And then call benefits. So yes, you want to be sending out the mailer and the e-reports, but the benefits of calling is that what I already mentioned before, 92% of client interactions, referrals, and closed deals happen over the phone. Okay. So over 90% of like just closing a deal period tends to happen via phone. So the topic of the mailing is the subject of your call, guys. So what you're sending out can be the topic. If you're kind of thinking in your head, this is usually the biggest problem most agents have when it comes to reaching out to their past clients and or reaching out to people that they've initially added in their database. They're like, I don't know what to say, Monique, and I don't want to keep calling them asking for business, because that's not good. You're not building a good rapport that way. You're taking, you're actually not giving. So it's an easy way to stay connected. So you need to make your follow-up calls behind the mailers and the e-reports, guys. It makes it easier for a conversation. And again, you never know who might have questions on what you sent out via email or via mailing. So this is the benefits. Let's jump to the next touches. Personal notes. Personal notes are powerful, guys. It's the least expensive way to deepen a relationship. It's always read, so people are always going to read it. They may not read your mailer. They may not read your e-report. It takes time, your most precious commodity, right? So people remember that, and it leaves a lingering impact. It's your most precious commodity. So focus on the person when you are doing this, notes to consider when you are writing out personal notes, focus on the person you are writing to. Keep it short and sweet, write notes daily, and send to everyone you talk to as well. On the back of your notes, when you put it in your envelope, you can put a sticker on the back that just says, oh, by the way, it could mention something in regards to, I love referrals. I love your referrals, or I'm never too busy for your referrals. So that's kind of what the sticker on the back can say. If you don't have that, do some research on how to create stickers like that. Or maybe it doesn't have to be a sticker. Maybe it could be some type of stamp or like situation where you can cut out little notes and put it on the back of the envelope. So you can get creative with this, but it's beneficial to send out personal notes with whomever you talk to. And again, just be sure that you're focusing on the person you're writing on. You don't want to put things down or put things in your notes that doesn't really pertain to that individual. Okay. Pop buys. So pop buys are great because it deepens your relationships with your best clients even more. So it demonstrates your care by the investment of your time. It's the quickest and most effective way to generate referrals while sorting out your database as well. And things to note about Popeyes is that you should start with some of your favorite people. You definitely want to keep it short. Use creativity to bring thoughtful and useful gifts to your clients. Keep a supply of your pop by gifts in your trunk as well, so you could fit them in between appointments. So you're not creating like a whole totally different schedule for your Popeyes. If you know you're going to be in a certain area and you sold a property to somebody, or you know a specific client lives in a certain neighborhood, or like a somebody in your database, your SOI, somebody that maybe they send you a lot of business, or you want them to start sending you some referrals, you know where they live at. So go ahead and try to schedule your time around it. Like, hey, I'm going to stop here and less than a minute or two away. So lives in this area. So let me drop off this gift too. And also ensure that you have, just like the personal note, you have some type of, oh, by the way, attached to it. So like a gift tag on the item that you're dropping off that says, oh, by the way, I love referrals, or, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for your referrals. You're training them now, guys. You're training on how to refer you, and also to remember to refer you business. That's what you're doing. And that's the reason why on the personal notes and even on your Popeye gifts, you want to have something that says that, something cute and like not overly the top, overpowering the gift either. So that's why it's good to have like a little teeny tiny like gift tag on it that says it. So also be enthusiastic about your business, because they're going to ask you about it. People always want to know about real estate. Believe it or not, they want to know. But you need to also make sure you're giving that great enthusiastic energy when they're asking you about real estate or your business, right? So the goal is to try to do about 7 Popeyes a week, guys. 7 Popeyes. All right. Now, another touch that you can be doing is a video. Videos are cutting edge, guys. I talked about how it's innovative, right? We have technology now. People don't want to read everything. People actually don't really like reading like that. I mean, people do, but they don't. And a lot of people don't read. That's the truth. That's why it's good to have video. 70% of communication is nonverbal. You can send to an individual, and you can also send to your entire database at once. So that's the benefits of a video. The same way you're sending out an e-report or a newsletter, you can also just kind of blast out a video as well. Note to keep it short. We know people's attention spans nowadays are very short. We're constantly being marketed to, and somebody's always trying to sell us. So keep in mind, keep it short and sweet. Make it valuable as well. You don't want to be recording about anything and everything. Make sure it's something of value. Also, be sure to practice and review before sending, and try to do it at least once a month, guys. That really helps. You're drilling into people's brains. You're building out your credibility, because you're doing a video that's seeing you talk. So if they, for whatever reason, can't attend any of your workshops or anything like that, this is kind of like a couple minute workshop right here. A video is, because you're educating them on something about the real estate market or the process, right? Okay, also have events, guys. The benefits of an event is that it brings people together. It keeps you as the central connector of many relationships, and also positions you as an authority in your marketplace. People are going to start talking about you when they're at these events, because again, you're the main reason why they came to this event. It's really going to help you look even more as the authority when you bring multiple people together that are there because of you. Okay. Now, breakfast and lunch benefits. You definitely want to do something where they say, it's always good to do business over food, right? People love to eat, and it's just a great touch to do. It's also an investment of your time into your best clients. It allows you to deepen your relationships with them. It's also enjoyable. It's quick and simple, and it's easy for everyone. You just show up and eat. You don't have to kind of come overly scripted. You're just sitting down, having a casual conversation, building more rapport with them. Okay. Breaking bread basically is breaking bread essentially is what it is. All right. Now, quick note about this: develop a professional greeting when you make your calls. Be sure to call and connect relationally, guys. Call to connect relationally, guys. This is not business. This is like this is a relationship building moment. Keep it short, have a place to meet in mind already, but also be flexible on a location and present options just in case they're not available. Maybe they can't get off work or whatever. They may not have the same flexibility as you because you are a business owner. Also, be sure to kind of set it up like once a week for like breakfast and then once a week for lunch with a different person each week. So that's 2 times a week, but it's with 2 different people. So one breakfast, one lunch with a different person in your database. Okay. All right. So client parties. So this is different than an event, guys. So you don't necessarily count this as an event, but this is one of your events, right? But this is separate. Your client, like an annual client appreciation party is what this is saying. You want to ensure that you have like a fun way to connect with your clients, right? It's also an opportunity for you to give back because typically you should sponsor the event. Now, if budget is a thing for you, that's the reason why you want to set a budget. You want to set it in advance and try to plan this out. Initially, in the beginning, you want to schedule this every year on your calendar so you ensure that you have the budget when the time comes or you put money aside. You also can partner with sponsors. You got mortgage professionals, you have title attorneys. There's so many people in this industry that don't mind sponsoring the events, instead. So you don't have to come up with money. It's also a proven method for generating referrals. It's a great ROI. So if for whatever reason you have to sponsor it yourself and you have to pay for it yourself, then keep in mind that it will pay off with referrals, guys. Because now people are getting you're doing all these different touches with them throughout the year. And then you decide to also have a big party. It's like, come on, they really feel like that the law of, what's it called, reciprocity. They really feel like they need to do something in return for you now. They're like, wow. So after all these touches, and their eyes are like, man, this is she or he's the go-to real estate agent. I just feel like I need to give them some referrals. I'm getting all these touches from them. I got to send them a client. They're really out here doing it. You're really building up your credibility is what you're doing. So quick note is that you need to set a budget, pick a date and a location, decide on like a theme, send out invitations, and also call all those individuals that you invited. Call everyone you invited as well. So this is one of those times that you definitely want to pick up the phone, and that's an additional touch as well. So getting to 33 touches to your database in a year isn't as hard as it may sound or seem. And again, I know it's a lot of people, but if you plan this in advance and you systemize a lot of this stuff, this is, you build out this system and, you have the dates that you're supposed to do everything. You put it on your calendar and you schedule it out. It makes it feel less impossible, but you are more than capable of doing this. And now doing this doesn't probably seem as daunting because you're probably like, what should I do? What can I do? I get it. I got to touch them 33 times, but how? And in what ways? Here you guys go. So I truly do hope that you guys probably just take a moment and review this section a couple more times and start to really draft out what you're going to do and implement it and actually do it. Put on your schedule first and actually implement it and do it as well. Remember, when you're doing these activities, be sure that you are coming from a place of service. Learn the art of giving. If you help people get what they want, you will get what you want and then some. Remember that, guys, because with all the different touches that you're doing, a mixture between the mailers, the e-reports, also doing the videos and conducting different events, such as like workshops and seminars and even maybe some panels and also maybe some fun events as well. Come from a place of you're helping people out. You're teaching them more about the process. If you come from that place, you're going to get what you want and more, guys. You'll also start to get endless referrals, and people will really start to view you as a real estate professional if they aren't already. And the new people that you're adding to your database will definitely view you as a professional because they're like, wow, this agent is truly different than all the other agents that they may have came into contact with. Now, all of this is essentially the stacking effect, the accumulation of effort and activities that creates critical mass in your database. This is a system, guys. And a system is a set of things working together as part of an interconnecting network. And when you do and use a system properly, it actually saves yourself time, energy, and even money as well. And eventually, the system ends up paying off. This is the point at which a brand becomes self-sustaining and no longer needs additional investment to remain economically valuable, guys. So if you do this system and you put it in place, initially it may seem like a lot of work and it's very time consuming, but eventually the system will start to sustain itself. Okay. And then you can start really leveraging people and different systems out there, automation systems that are out there. We've got AI out there. So a lot of these things that you're doing, companies are already doing it. And you could essentially start to pay for it, pay for them, pay for somebody to send out mailers. The mailers I send out every month, I have a company. I pay for a company to do it every single month. And then I add people to that database every week. And it's not that hard because it's already set up. Only thing I have to do is just add them in there, me or my admin. So eventually it becomes easier. Now, the goal is to get to, as of right now, your goal is to get to level 100 people in your database who will receive the stacking system 300 out of 365 days out of the year. If you get at least 100 people in your database and you start doing this stacking system, you'll at least get $100,000 in commissions, okay? But some people will actually get even more because your price points may be a little bit higher. But if you're in a lower price point and maybe some of your people, don't have as much money, you should at least be able to get $100,000. Now, if you're not able to get that, add a little bit more people then. So instead of it being 100 people, do 150 people or 200 people, whatever you need to do, whatever number you need to hit to get to that 100 people. And we're going to talk about that more in details during the path of profitabilities. That's the last section of this training. We're going to truly break down the goals and the numbers that you're trying to hit. So no worries if you're like thinking in your head, like, I don't know, Monique, how am I supposed to know, what that number is, or if this is enough, if 100 people is enough. No worries. We're going to go through that training soon at the end. Okay. Level 2. And so as of right now, your goal is to get to level 1. Eventually your goal will be to get to level 2, which is 100 A's in your database who will receive the stacking system 365 days out of the year. And when you do this and you do it correctly, because you got to do it correctly, you should be getting a minimum of about 30 transactions a year, guys. Now, essentially, you will be considered a top producing agent easily, no matter what marketplace you are in. 30 transactions a year, you'll be amongst the top people in probably the country. Okay. So keep that in mind. And if you need to, pause this section right here, write it down, internalize it, or watch it again so you can really truly understand, okay, the importance of doing this stacking system. Watch that all over again, the stacking system all over again.